Can you believe that only 33% of decision makers feel that their organization is ready to get back to work? I mean, really think about that post-COVID. Well, as a sales professional, what do you need to know? What are some things that you should be aware of? How can this help you, or what are some of those red flags that you should be concerned about as you're trying to get back into the swing of things with your business, and also to help your clients to get back in the swing of things as well? I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that we're going to talk about today. I'm going to share with you some insights, 3 things that I feel that is very, very important right now, especially with getting back into starting full-time into the offices again with most organizations, and how you can prepare for that. I want you to listen. I want you to apply. And as we go throughout this season, this next little stint of episodes, we're going to give you some insights from other sales leaders as well and experts about what we need to know before going back to work. Here we go. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another great episode of the Sales Evangelist podcast here on TSC TV on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Donald Kelly, the Sales Evangelist. And I'm so excited for another great episode. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And on this episode, we're going to talk about getting back to work. Over the next 5 to 6 episodes, you're going to hear me talk with different sales leaders, different authors, different sales experts, sales coaches, and so forth about what are some of the things that they think that you need to know, especially as we get back into a position where a lot of people are getting vaccinated and they're going back into the office full time. There's some interesting things, there's some fascinating things that we need to be aware of. But this one I thought would be very, very important to start us off with. I was reading an article on MarketWatch, and one of the things they shared, I want to go ahead and read it verbatim for you. Just 33% of decision makers believe their organization has the necessary resources to successfully navigate a return to work. Now, that may be different for others in different industries. And based on your industry, you probably weren't too much affected. Some of you have been benefited because of the COVID pandemic. Your company and the products that you sell and the services that you offer probably saw an uptick. However, many organizations did not. They are still trying to battle through that. And some organizations had to lay off sellers. And a few of you may have been laid off, and now you're trying to find new gigs and trying to get back on in the swing of things as well. We're going to have some episodes coming up later on about that as well, about what you need to do as you're getting ready to find a new job and to land a new position. But let's focus on this right now. If you're a sales professional and you're trying to help clients and your clients are trying to get back to the office, there's a lot of difficulty. I mean, 1 out of 3 business owners at this point, 1/3 business owners believe their organization has the necessary resources. So 2/3 of them do not have the things they need to do. And how can this be how can you be of assistance in this? And that's where I'm going to start off too. It is. Here's another thing I want you to share. A lot of these decision makers said they feel that going back to the office, and also some of the employees feel that things are going to be unpredictable and potentially chaotic. Unpredictable and potentially chaotic. I mean, how many organizations actually have a post-COVID plan, a return to office plan? Some people have a plan where they're talking about you can do hybrid and you can also do in office and you can have several days a week. But as far as getting people, there's a lot of people management and a lot of logistics that may take up time. I mean, and I don't know about you, but the average decision makers, the person that you need to connect with, they probably have a swamp plate already before COVID. Now plan after COVID, all the other things they have to take care of, all the other minutiae. And if you're selling in HR or selling to folks who are trying to help bring people back into the office, good luck, because it's going to be difficult. So here's what I want you to realize. The very first thing. Things may slow down a bit. Your sales process may slow down just a little bit. So let's say, for instance, on average, it took you 3 months to close a deal. With the pandemic now, it may lengthen or return to office over the next several months. It may lengthen that process maybe to 4 months. And here's why: because those decision makers now have other fires that they're trying to put out. They're trying to make sure people are safe when they come to the office. They're trying to implement the new protocols that probably didn't exist. They're trying to have those different meetings with the executive boards. They're trying to take care of different problems. And especially when most deals right now, I did a podcast a while back where a lot of these deals, you have a board or you have a body of individuals that are part of that. If you're selling enterprise, those body or those individuals that are going to be making the decision more than likely will have to worry about taking care of their teams coming back to the office. So that may elongate your deal. So what does it mean for you as a seller? Overplan. Overplan, overplan. So one of the concepts that I've encouraged sellers to do is not to assume the sale, but assure the sale. And especially during the coronavirus, the pandemic, the COVID era, I need you to assure the sale. And what this means with your prospect is that you need to map out, and you may say, well, we do this, Donald, we talk about it, but I'm telling you physically, just listen to me, map out that whole process so that they can visually see what needs to happen so the deal or the project can get implemented quickly. You don't want to be the stumbling block, or you don't want to assume that they have the right individuals in the office to take care of things. So let me give you another example. When it comes towards getting lawyers involved and getting counsel to approve an agreement, approve a contract, that may not be the top thing on the lawyer's mind because they're worried about if the company might get sued because there's not the proper procedures in place. Am I making sense on this, y'all? So if that's the case, how are you preparing for that? So overplan, overplan, overplan. Can we get the proposal to them quicker? Can we get the agreement to the lawyers to review a little bit quicker? Can we make sure that that process is clearly defined to our buyer and to the champion so that they can understand what they need to bring back to their leaders and so things can move forward? It's going to be chaotic, as they said. They assume it's going to be unpredictable. So we need to make sure we help that. Only 33% feel that they're ready for going back to the office. Number 2 is communicate. I would say over-communicate. I like to look at the example of, remember I told you about this, making those tinfoil dinners, right? When I used to make tinfoil dinners for Boy Scout, my friends used to make these tinfoil dinners, and one of them made always put double the amount of spices that he typically would put. And the reason being because when you have those tinfoil dinners, you have potatoes, they have a lot of water in them, and your meat, it flushes out those seasonings. So your stuff is getting washed out pretty much. So when you open up a tinfoil dinner, you're eating it, and you're like, man, well, my stuff tastes blah. It's because you didn't over-season it. In this case, I want you to over-communicate and communicate on multiple channels as well. One of the huge things I recommend, and my friends over at Scipio, use text messaging. It's quick, it's easy. We did a webinar with them recently, and you can go onto our YouTube channel and find that. But one of the things that we wanted to emphasize when it came towards that webinar and also communication is, can you get the cell phone number and communicate via text messages with those prospects? You're 98% more likely, or customers 98% more likely to read a text message than they are to read an email. So and the communication can go quicker. So if I'm trying to speed up communication, I'm going to use text. Obviously, you're still going to use email and take advantage of LinkedIn and obviously the phone. The more channels you can have the relationship with that buyer, and you can over communicate with them, not to just be there to get something, to beg for something, or to get a sale. You're communicating with them to see how you can bring value. Because again, remember, only 33% of them said they're ready. So is there something that you can offer to that client, some kind of resource your company can offer them, maybe a plan? If you're in a manufacturing space, is there a way that your company can create a template about safely getting back to work plan or design? You can talk to your marketing team, but now you have a piece of asset that you can give, and now that's going to help you to get ahead of the pack. You're going to be seen as that person providing resources, solving a problem that they have, even though you're not necessarily, it's not necessarily a problem that your company typically solve. Perhaps you sell, window washing services. Why in the world would you have a return to work plan that you can give them? Because you're a valuable resource to these type of clients. Does that make sense? I'm saying this and you can't ever respond to me. Here's an example. Leaders focus on ensuring teams are working and doing, and that they have all the right things in place. So if they're doing that and they're focused on all of those things right now, you're going to be probably, again, put at the bottom of the line. So better communicate ahead and make sure you have a plan. Assure the sale with these clients. Another place that they saw, tying back to communication, one of the things that many leaders are concerned about is the culture. What is that culture going to be like? Because now you have people that were working from home for the past, a year, and they had certain habits that they may have established. How can we ensure that we're bringing back and developing the right culture for our organization? And as you can hear, somebody's car is going off, they're honking there, so hopefully you don't hear it too much in the background. But the piece, though, that I want you to understand with this is cultures may look different. Cultures may need to be reshaped, and that may cause some kind of delay or some kind of challenges when it comes back to communication as well. You're bringing these people back to the office. You're bringing people who had a lot of different varying political views, and I would say we're still very sensitive with political climate and all kinds of crazy stuff that's going on with that. So we want to make sure that we can help them as much as possible by just over planning and making sure that we communicate as much as possible, doubling up on our communication with them and just staying ahead so that we don't get lost in a shuffle. Number 3, here's something I thought was really, really interesting. I want to read it to you. It comes from Harvard Business Review. And one of the things that they talked about was the digital savvy sales professionals and digital savvy sales leaders. In the pandemic, many of us who our salespeople in general, we're kind of like the Lone Ranger or the lone wolf. Many of us will work from home. We work remotely. We don't interact with our team. However, because of the pandemic, that caused a little bit of change. It required us to have more of a collaborative measures in place as an organization. Now that require more digital footprints. Here's what Harvard Business Review shared with this. As the use of digital tools and analytics grows, field sales rep will need more than just impersonal skills. So, you find some individuals have in-person sales skills. They can meet with individual, or they have interpersonal skills. These are interpersonal skills. They can talk, they can shake hands, they can help someone to feel comfortable and feel natural. But they need more than that. That's kind of like the being a natural seller idea, right? The old profile of a winning sales professional as a rugged individualist is giving way to a new profile, a team player who can collaborate with others. And right now, with the advancement in technology, with the way things are, and with companies trying to do more, like the ad hoc work from home, work in person, there's a lot of digital communication, some things that need to happen. So in your case, as an organization, you better communicate within your organization as well. Long gone are the days where you can just be the lone wolf. It requires more collaboration with the organization, requires more collaboration with your team. And here's another thing that you should realize too, a more digitally savvy sales organization. So practically every aspect of the sales organization will accelerate down the path of digital value and digital innovation. So as an organization, what are some of those things that you're putting in place? How can you as a sales professional ensure that you're on the right track and you're not left behind because you're stuck in the old way? Said, this is the way we did it back in 2019. Well, newsflash, we're in 2021 and things are going really fast and things are going different. The final thing that I want to just tell you regarding this is just to help you to understand that if you think that the buyer is just going to, they're just going to clamor over you for your product and for your service, we need to change that mindset. We need to make sure that we become the resource to them. That's the biggest takeaway I want you to understand from this. We need to be the resource to them. Stephen Covey teaches, seek first to understand, then to be understood. If I need people or want people to buy my product and service, I need to go where they are right now. And 33% of those decision makers only 33% of them are convinced that their organization is ready. A lot of people feel that it's going to be chaotic and it's not going to set up properly. I'm going to read that quote one more time. Just 33% of decision makers believe their organization has the necessary resources to successfully navigate a return to work. Go back into this post, look at the article. We have it down in the show notes in the description. You can test it out, check it out yourself, and get a better understanding. But these are some things that I want to help you with. One, again, just a reminder, this may slow down your deals. We want you to be able to assure the sale. Number 2, over-communicate with your prospect. Get them on multiple platforms. Number 3, become that resource and understand that right now that you need to adopt and become that digital seller in a digital sales organization rather than just being a lone ranger. I share stuff like this because I want to help you. I want you to get ahead of the game. And as we hear from some of these guests coming up, you're going to hear topics such as, let me tell you a couple of them real quick, pull them up here. We have Ann Ruggles. I love her, and she's going to share some really good insights. How my small business survive, and especially if you sell to small businesses, here are some things that she's going to give to you. Darren Dawson is going to talk about how we can use video to increase the sales and how we can shorten that sales process and assure the sale. You're going to love that. James Frampton, we're going to talk about how companies can address the customer relationship crisis. So many good things coming up in this next little series. As always, I share this because I want to help you. I want you to succeed. I want you to check out the sponsors. They are giving away some amazing offers. We promote things that we believe that really can help you. We want you to find more of those ideal customers. We want you to know what to say when you reach out to them. We want you to close more deals. But most importantly, we want you to go out each and every single day and do big things. Thank you so much for watching. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time to watch watched this video today. If you enjoyed the content, I ask you to go ahead and hit that like button, that thumbs up at the bottom right-hand corner. Also, to make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. This way, we'll keep you up to date with all the latest sales strategies, latest tools, and things that are going to help you to not only find more prospects, but to close more deals. Thanks so much.